out idea of what you are going to end up with, but you allow the work to lead you, much as a painter will start slopping paint on a canvas, and you have to be aware that.
In the world of rock and roll, some stories are bigger than the music itself. This is a story of two people, a young man with guitar and a young woman with a dream. Together, they created songs that touch millions, but behind the music was a love story filled with heartbreak, passion, and pain. This is the story of Steve Nicks and Lindsey Buckingham, and how their broken hearts helped build Fleetwood Mac into one of the greatest bands of all time. Steve Nicks and Lindsey Buckingham met in high school in California back in 1966. They were not lovers right away, just two kids who loved music. But something special was already there. Years later, in college at St. Joseph State University, Lindsey asked Steve to join his band. The band was called Fritz, and they played a mix of psychedelic and folk rock. It wasn't until Fritz broke up that Stevie and Lindsey became more than just bandmates. They started writing music together, and they fell in love. In 1973, they released their first and only album as a duo, Buckingham Nicks. On the cover, they appeared nude, a bold move for a pair of a young, unknown artist. This album didn't sell well, except in one strange place, Birmingham, Alabama. Radio DJ there loved the record and gave it a regular airplay. It wasn't it, but it was enough to get them noticed, especially by a man named Mick Fleetwood. At the time, Fleetwood Mac was struggling. They had lost several band members and were looking for something or someone new. Mick Fleetwood held the Buckingham Nicks album into studio one day and was impressed. He invited Lindsey Buckingham to join Fleetwood Mac, but Lindsey said something surprising. "I won't join the band unless Steve comes with me." Fleetwood agreed. Just like that, Steve, Nicks, and Lindsey Buckingham were now members of Fleetwood Mac, a British blues band on the edge of change. The first album together, titled simply Fleetwood Mac, came out in 1975, and it was a huge success. Steve's songs like Rhiannon and Landslide became instant classics. Lindsey's guitar brought new energy to the band, but behind the scenes, things were starting to fall apart. By the time Fleetwood Mac began recording their next album, Rumors, things were tense. Steve and Lindsey's romantic relationship had ended, but they still had to do the work and sing side by side. Imagine writing a song about your ex and then having to sing it with them every night on stage. That's what they say. And that's what they did. Steve wrote Dreams about Lindsey. Soft, sad, and full of hope. When the rain washes you clean, you will know. Lindsey responded with Go Your Own Way, a much angrier song that ever happened. Loving you is not the right thing to do. Steve hated it. She said it was extremely disrespectful, but the pain in those songs made them powerful. Audience felt it, they connected with it. The drama behind the music only made fans love the band more. Rumors became one of the best-selling albums in history, spending 31 weeks at number 1. But the band was falling apart. Steve began using cocaine to deal with the pressure, so did the others in the band. As one engineer put it, there was a community bag of cocaine in the studio. As the years went on, Stevie and Lindsey kept making music, but often not together. Stevie started a solo career while the band worked on a strange new album called Tusk, led mostly by Lindsey. In 1981, Stevie released her first solo album, Belladonna, with the hit song Age of the 17. Fleetwood Mac still existed, but now each member had their own path. Back in 1985, Stevie entered rehab to fight her cocaine addiction, but when she felt she was given a new drug, a tranquilizer called Clonopin, and got hooked on that too. Because of her struggles, she missed many of the recording sessions for the 1987 album Tango in the Night. The same year, thing exploded again. The band was planning a tour. Lindsey didn't want to go. Stevie says she's tried to strangle him. He chased her into the driveway and they had one final ugly fight. Lindsey left the band shortly after. Stevie left too. A decade passed. Then in 1997, something special happened. Very special. Fleetwood Mac reunited. The classic lineup: Stevie, Lindsey, Mick Fleetwood, John McVie, and Christine McVie. They lead a live album called The Dance. It was big success. Every night on tour, Steve sang Silver Spring, a song she had written about Lindsey years earlier, a song the band had once rejected. At the end of the performance, she would walk over and rest her head on the bar. It was a touching moment, but Steve said, "Lindsey and I will never be touchy-feely friends, maybe later down on the line." But those wounds didn't heal. In 2018, as the band was preparing for another reunion tour, Lindsey was fired. He said it was because Stevie didn't want to be on the stage with him anymore. Fleetwood Mac said they had reached an impasse. Lindsey told Rolling Stone, "We were never married, but we might as well have been. Some couples get divorced after 40 years. When bandmate Christine McVie passed away in 2022, Stevie said Fleetwood Mac was truly over. At her memorial, Stevie and Lindsey exchanged words, the first time in years. She later told Rolling Stone, "I dealt with Lindsey for as long as I could. I gave him more than 300 million chances." Then in 2024, something unexpected happened. Steve Nicks and Lindsey Buckingham, now in their 70s, posted matching Instagram messaging. They were releasing Buckingham Nicks, the one and only album as a duo. The album that started it all. No interview, no press tour, just music. And maybe, just maybe, a quiet peace. Their story is not just about love or pain. It's about two artists that gave the world something timeless. Steve Nicks and Lindsey Buckingham may never be best friends again, but through all the chaos, they left us with songs that still move us, even now, and maybe that's enough. Thank you for joining us on this journey through rock and roll history. If you love the story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment which Fleetwood Mac song mean the most to you. Let's talk music, memory, and magic. Steve and Lindsey down in the comment below. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoy it. See you next time.